Hello, this is Wmpyr, once again back with another Captain Fairbairn technical exploration, I guess. This is once again from his book, Get Tough. And this segment right here, he's talking about the Smatchet knife, which is it's a special knife. And as you can see, it's huge. It's a massive blade. And he says when you don't have your bayonet, then you should have a Smatchet. He says something along those lines, you know. So for those soldiers that don't have a bayonet, use a Smatchet. And okay, so let's look at figure 120. When you look at that image right there, and the red arrows I added. I added these red arrows in here. The original does not have that. But so that's a Hammerfist, right? Basically, this is what we're very familiar with. This is a common move that we see a lot in today's self-defense. It's the Hammerfist strike, essentially. Even if you're not holding a weapon, they teach us the Hammerfist strike. Okay, 119 looks like a Hammerfist strike, but it's not. If you read the description, it says no, it's an uppercut, basically, using the Smatchet. And that, to me, is something you just don't see, is figure 119. This technique here, you don't really, it's not common. The Hammerfist, yes. This one, no. So that, to me, is very interesting already. And if you look, it is an uppercut, but your pinky can be vulnerable, right, when you're doing something like that, obviously. So I think that's why when you're empty-handed, he goes with the open palm, and that's what he calls the chin jab. It's one of his flagship moves, in my opinion. To me, it's like one of his favorite moves is the chin jab. And this right here, what we're seeing is a weapon version of it, the Smatchet version of the chin jab. So I'm like, man, this guy really, really likes his chin jab. Now, once again, normally in a closed fist, which when you're holding anything, you become a closed grip, your pinky is vulnerable, but he's doing it here. So I'm wondering if the Smatchet, which I haven't seen a real Smatchet, like a photo of a real Smatchet. I wish I could not just see one. I wish I could own one, but I, obviously don't have one. But is the Smatchet, the bottom part, does it stick out for this technique so that you could execute? And it looks to me like when you look at figure 121 or 122, it looks like it kind of does stick out a little bit. It has a little bit of that angle, A, to probably help you with the grip so that you don't drop it, but B, also for this purpose. If it does, to me, that's kind of cool because that means the Smatchet was designed for figure 119, for that technique, for this uppercut technique. So I definitely think that that's pretty cool. And then that starts making me think, what other knives? And more interestingly, so what about folding knives? Do I have any folding knives that can do this very well? Some will do it better than others. So now I want to look through my knives and see which ones could really do this, this uppercut technique. So now let's go back to figure 120, the Hammerfist, okay? The one thing that I would have to say is different, what he's showing here, this Hammerfist goes from top to bottom. And that's an interesting angle. If they were to teach a Hammerfist that way in today's martial arts world or self-defense world, it would be done towards the opponent's like collarbone, right? You hit their collarbone with a Hammerfist strike going up to bottom, not the face. Not really, because then you have to reach upwards, right? But here, Captain Fairbairn is hitting them in the face. So normally in today's self-defense world, if you're going to do a Hammerfist, it's against something straight on. So you're not going from up to bottom. You're hitting something that's right in front of you. So that angle change to me is interesting, and that's something you guys should experiment with. If that angle is weirder, right? This angle that he's showing in 120 is more natural. But the only problem is, like I said, you almost have to be a taller person. So then what do we do in today's self-defense world is we might do the hammer fist sideways to make it a more comfortable angle. So playing around with the angle of the hammer fist is my point. You guys should play around with that, not just go, okay, I learned a hammer fist, it's in my arsenal. No, go a little bit deeper, really, to make it your own. Experiment with the different angles, experiment with the different targets, and see how that works out with you. And once again, in this video, I wanted to point out really figure 119, this uppercut motion that Captain Fairbairn seems to really like from because of his chin jab is the name of the technique. But here he's doing a similar type of technique while holding this specialized weapon. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.